Welcome back to All the Crackers in the Box. Hi, it's me, your very exhausted friend Corey. Oh my goodness, it has been just going off. When it rains, it pours, right? Pretty much, I'd say most of my family has been fighting the flu. Today's the first day where we're mostly fever-free in the household. But yeah, both daughters at the same time, feverish, sleeping in my bed, body aches, it's just been awful. Anyways, I'm really glad to have a little time to crochet because I haven't been able to crochet for most of this week, and I'm glad I get to hang out with you for a little bit. So let's hang out and talk about what's going on. Glad you're here today. So I am working on straps for my never-ending bag that I seem to be constantly working on but can't seem to finish because I was all over the place. And I decided just to go with a simple single crochet. Plus it's helping me practice with my beautiful, beautiful birthday gift. We're using my 4-point. Look at that beautiful green to it, isn't it? Stunning. Oh, I love it. My voice is probably a little bit raspy right now. I just had a 45-minute coughing attack and coughed out half my lungs, and my throat's a little bit sore now. So that's always nice. But I'm glad I did that before I tried to make a video, so that's very sorry about how my videos have been going lately. It's just one thing after another. You know, it happens. It's life. I'm taking care of my real life and what's going on, and hopefully everyone will understand that, it's not you, it's me. But again, very sorry. I know some people really enjoy the company, and I've been just a little out of it. After this, I got to go bathe small children still. Again. So we're working on straps, as I was saying. We're using Burnett 1-pounder. What is it called? Pounder. Yeah, pounder. No dye lot. It's a big one. Beautiful gray. Yeah, so working hard on this. My hands were not able to crochet for most of last week with the fever, just shaking all over. I'm a little shaky still. But my loops were all misshapen, and I'd have one big loop, one regular, then two big ones, and it just I had to take out a good chunk of a row on my circular poncho for that reason. I was just like, no thank you, I'm not playing around with this. It's not working. I'm not going to try to force it, so I'm terribly sorry about that. Like I said, fevers, sick children, body aches, coughing. It's been lovely. I did finish separating my Hobie yarn because I was typing in one of my last few videos. I wanted to play with yarn, but I couldn't crochet very well, so I decided just to work on that. And I think that's the fastest I've ever gotten through. I don't know what word to use here. Making my cake smaller. So I have 2 halves, and I gotta wind them up. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that today. My shoulder is really not liking me. This flu it's really dropped me down to my knees. It has absolutely taken me down and taken my children down. My middle daughter went back for 1 day, and by the end of it, it roared back to life for her. She was doing fine. She went to school for a day, and by the time she got home, the fever was setting back in, and it was off. It was on for the next 3 days of fighting fevers in and out of the lukewarm tub, medicine, trying to get everyone to eat when no one has any appetite at all, and just, my house is totally torn apart. And then when the eye pain pops in because lights are too bright, I mean, it's this one is just, yeah. And I mean, when you have the flu, you can't really take much more than just over-the-counter stuff. I mean, antibiotics aren't going to do anything for you. So, unless it turns into like bronchitis or something, which I don't think it has, but my chest is very uncomfortable. For a few days there, pardon me, was not able to get a good breath, like just shallow little breaths. No good deep ones, regular breathing, which is really crazy. And going through, and we're just going to continue with my straps. So I did get one done in the last 2 days. It took me a little bit of time off and on. These, by the way, are fantastic. Like, just so pretty. Like, I know I'm going to end up scratching this up a little, but right now they're still really nice and flawless for the most part. Love the way they glide. Like, they are just lovely. They're cold to the touch when you first use them. Sorry, I'm just going to measure to see how much more length I need. So, we're going, and we still have a bit to go. So that's not bad. Okay. Oh, that doesn't happen very often with these hooks. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to get back to my normal self here. But I've had very little sleep in the last week. Kids being feverish and whatnot, I'm on guard and checking on them, making sure they're breathing properly, because respiratory disease is also going around right now too. So, being that my youngest has actually been hospitalized for that before, I'm very vigilant on that. So it's been very lacking on the sleep end of things, and not eating all week has really made my anemia flare up. So I'm finding I'm kind of faint. Had a shower yesterday, and not even a hot shower, and I got the black rim around my vision and just hasn't really been able to shake it. So I need a few good meals and some rest. Rest. Not dehydrated. Thankfully I've been able to keep water down the whole time, but there was a day where I ate like 2 saltine crackers, and that's all I could eat all day. And those were just awful to try to keep down. I mean, saltine crackers is what I was living on, and I had off and on for a little bit when I was having morning sickness with my kids, and so I'm used to that, having to do that occasionally, and this was just not easy. peanut butter and jam sandwiches aren't good, and things don't taste good. You're starving, you go to eat something, you take 2 bites. You're like, yeah, no, my body just will not accept that. Just like severe nausea. And I guess there's a couple kids in my daughter's class who have been taken out by it as well. One of them lives in our building. She's just having the worst time too. Her and my daughter are very close friends, so yay, sharing is caring. My eyes are hurting a little right now. We'll see how long I can keep going. It's the sad me show. I'm just kidding. We're getting better. We're doing okay. I wouldn't have been able to do this 2 days ago. A lot of people in Facebook groups talking about these hooks, and I have been joining in because a beautiful gift. I don't know if I would actually want to pay for furls. I mean, that's, if you have the money for that, cool. I don't. Every post, though, there's a lot of people going on and on about how Temu's terrible and you should buy from them because they're stealing your information and China this, China that. I'm just going to stay out of that because every company out there is trying to get your info one way or another. Amazon has all my info. Google has all my info. My cell phone carrier has most of my info. Like, it's how companies are run. And I've noticed more than one occasion that some of the crafting stuff I've gotten from Temu are exactly the same stuff I'm getting from Amazon for double the price. Or even some of the actual stores where I've seen them, and they're exactly the same markings, everything. And I'm going, okay, well, yeah, I'm not sure how people aren't realizing that it's every company. It's not just one or two. They all have this practice of trying to get your info and selling it to sell you more stuff. Like, I'm randomly getting a phone call the other day to asking me if I have a landline. I just hung up. I'm like, no, thank you. I am not I know what you're going to do. If I said yes or no, I would end up with a cold call from a person trying to sell me something within the week. Because they're doing I tried to do this once for a job. I didn't realize that's what it was. I lasted like an hour. I hated it. I had to call people and ask them if they had a vacuum. That was it. Just ask them if they have a vacuum. And if they had a vacuum, I was supposed to mark it down, and then an actual salesperson would call them back to try to sell them a vacuum. Wow, this was a lot. I am a little bit more on the reserved side, and that was not in my comfort zone to be cold calling people to ask them that. They gave me a list of, start here with 555-0001, 555-0002. Like, it was like that, and I was supposed to be writing this all down, and the more I did in the day, the more I got paid, and it was just not something I liked doing, for sure. I think I did about an hour, because most people weren't answering the phone at that point of the day. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning or something silly like that. It was just not what I wanted to do. I found something else to do instead later. I was like, no thanks. I don't think this is for me. But in a boutique type place, I'm a great salesperson. Like, if I was working at a yarn store or something where we're selling specialty yarns, I'd be able to have a great time talking to you about what yarns, your projects, that kind of thing. My sold jewelry was like that, and I did really, really well. But yeah, phone stuff, I don't know. I don't really like cold calling. I have to talk myself into calling people. But I can talk to you face to face. I don't know. It's weird, right? Just weird things where you're never sure. Like, I think it's because I can't make eye contact with a person, and I can't gauge by their body language and things like that, like how they're taking this whole conversation. If they're interested, if they're not interested. Like, that was one thing with sales. Like, I'll show you something, and I can tell by your reaction, like just waving my hands over what's over there, when your eyes would get big, or you'd smile, or just some little giveaway. But you can't get that on the phone. So basically, I can read people, but I can't through the phone or online. None of that. But anyway, so that's a lot of my strap there, and I will hopefully be able to join you again soon. We're going to see how this goes, because this flu starts to get a little better, and then it boomerangs back, and it's already done it to me once, so I'm hoping it's only one time, but it's hard to say. It's a really soft blanket. Anyways, I'm going to say thank you for joining me here at All the Crackers in the Box, and I will see you again very soon.